Yeah, I just think overall focus as well. We want to really try to win every game going into the playoffs.
Oh, there you go. Klay Thompson says win them all, right?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. You know, when I heard him say that, I don't know about you, but it's almost like he is representing the entire team who are all having a difficult time. This is their 4th year in a row playing at this high a level, and we all know what a grind the regular season is. And it takes different things to get you motivated individually and as a team. And perhaps he was exercising some leadership of challenging his basketball team to like win 20 in a row, as unfathomable as that seems. But it's just one way to motivate you.
I can fathom that for that team, but we'll see. Well, how important for contenders specifically is mindset this time of year?
Guys who have been there 3 straight finals, won 2 out of the 3 championships. Remember, that carrot has always been out in front of them up to this point. The carrot, a couple seasons back, winning more games than any team has won in the regular season. And now going into this All-Star break, they were struggling. And their coach even said, we really need this break to get ourselves back together again. And perhaps Klay, as you were just mentioning, Stu, is saying, oh, here's the carrot right now. Let's see if we can win all the games the rest of the way to go in with that momentum, because they know that they have to step it up a notch heading into the playoffs.
You know, I suspected there was more reaction to Klay Thompson's comments than what we saw there. And it turns out there is. Here's Steph Curry.
The goal is not lose the rest of the regular season. Obviously, that's, you know, something you want to do, but is that actually something lingering in your mind, like run the table?
You got to obviously stay in the moment, but you know, we haven't run off a long win streak in a while, so that would be a nice feeling going into the playoffs if we could build that type of momentum.
Well, obviously, we want to win every game we play, so yeah, that would be cool. But that's not like a goal we're trying to set. It's just let's see if we can win now. I mean, obviously, we want to just play good basketball, and whatever happens, you know, after that, it happens. But you know, every team's goal is to win every single game. Well, not every team, because.
Kevin Durant obviously did not get the Adam Silver memo about the tanking topic.
Yeah. Does that mean Adam Silver will now fine him severely for even talking about tanking?
No, I think he was joking about it. So I think he's safe. He's okay there. But for the Warriors, what is kind of on the list of things to clean up, to tweak, to look at, to hone between now and the first game of the postseason?
Well, to me, the Golden State Warriors have always been, their foundation's always been at the defensive end. Offensively, they've always been a team that has been based on cutting hard, screening, good pick and roll basketball, ball movement, player movement. And I think, you know, Steph Curry said it best. Maybe this team has been focused too much on just winning games and not how they're playing. And they need to get back as they go into the playoffs on how they're playing Warriors basketball. And that's what will lead to success, I think, ultimately for them, Mike.
And also down the stretch here, they've had a couple nicks here and there, guys being hurt, missing 3-4 games at a time. They've played a little bit with the center position, and I would think now down the stretch, Steve might start to say, okay, with a dozen or 18 games remaining, this is who we're going with. This is coming off the bench.
Right.
And I like the idea of polishing up the defense, because that's what we always seem to look past in the years that they were so good the past 3 seasons, that they were 1, 2, or 3 defensively each year.
Yep, that continues to be the case. One thing has been a constant this season, and that is how good the Warriors have been in the third quarter. They won in Washington Wednesday night when they outscored the Wizards by 13, and that's kind of the trend all season. They lead the league in third quarter, scoring, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and assists. Guys, 7 times this season, 7. Golden State has outscored their opponents by 20 or more in the third quarter. What do you make of that?
It tells you if you don't wake up in a hurry when you come out of that locker room, you could be buried very quickly against them, because the barrage of threes starts to come. And when they knock down 4 or 5 out of their first 6 or 7 shots, that's how they open up the gap. And it's almost like teams wind up, depending on who you're playing against, wind up saying, like, here it is. We expected this. Right. They're on the roll.
Yeah, and without question. And certainly I think as a unit, you know, when you get in the locker room at halftime, let's not forget Steve Kerr has an opportunity to weigh in also on how they played in the first half. And look, this team has been together, it seems like, so long. I mean, Durant notwithstanding, that they understand from a team concept what they need to do. And, you know, as they head down these last 20 games or so, I just feel that they'll get it together again, you know, whether it's at the defensive or offensive end, because that's part of their DNA. They're champions.
It's not like they've been bad, or half a game behind Houston going into tonight's standing. So even though there was a little bit of a little valley along the way,
A brief lull.
and maybe a lack of enthusiasm or concentration for the next game and the next game after that, going into the All-Star break, they can tighten it up right away.
Yeah. By the way, I mentioned they're in Atlanta here tonight. So this is their 14th interconference road game of the season. Currently at 12-1, they have a chance to tie the 06-07 Suns for the best road interconference record in NBA history, 14-1.
Yeah, well,
It's supposed to be hard winning on the road.
Yeah, no question. But it also, to me, indicates just how strong a team this is, and perhaps the Western Conference with respect to the East. Although, you know, the Eastern Conference has performed well, at the same time, the Warriors are the Warriors. To me, they're still the best team in basketball. The Houston, Houston's going to have to prove to me that in the playoffs, they can do two things that the Warriors are used to doing. And that is play defensively every single playoff game and execute down the stretch of games, which I think has been a nemesis, for the Houston Rockets. And, that's what the Warriors do. They're beating up on the East, but playoff time, I expect to see the team that we have always seen.
Outside of Toronto, Boston, Cleveland, and maybe you would have said a healthy Washington team, who in the East is really a tough team for them to come in and maybe not have a chance to beat? So that record, you know what I'm saying? Like, after you take top three away, I guess I have to throw Philly in there now after last night's game against Cleveland.
Right.
But to contend with on a regular, Golden State should beat most of those teams.
They should, but it's still remarkable to me in that, schedule catches up to you. They're far away from home. The time zone thing, the travel, everything that goes into it. And I know the NBA has lessened that load here a little bit this season, but most teams, even the really good ones, get caught up somewhere along the way.
But, that's one side of it. But, Coach, I've always felt that when you had your team together on the road, it was really a chance, I think, to shore up some things because you have a practice here and there, but you spend time together. You begin to understand and appreciate one another. And I think in many respects, you galvanize, and go out and you're on the road. You're fighting this battle together each and every night. And sometimes that can work to your advantage versus some of the negatives of being on the road.
And if you have a coach who, as Steve Kerr, understanding the length of the trip, understanding the road and the grind, been there himself, for a lot of years, he can make that trip entertaining, educational, throw something else in that's not basketball related.
Right.
That also helps to bond, bring that group closer together.